What happened with the Manchester United deal? And how does Erling feel about playing for Manchester United? Well, keep watching to find out. Erling Haaland was almost acquired by Manchester United, but the Red Devils backed out of the deal after Haaland's representatives refused to negotiate a buyout clause and a portion of future sales. United was not willing to comply with the suggested terms, which were reportedly described by sources as being terrible for the industry. Now, Man United supporters are reaping the bitter fruits of his work in Manchester City. Feels bad to know that you could have stopped something bad from happening and even used it to your advantage, but failed due to pride. According to a Leeds United supporter, the Haaland family despises Manchester United, hence the Norwegian international will never sign a contract at Old Trafford. People who are close to the Haaland family have always anticipated that he would move to Germany. United insiders insist that Haaland chose to join Dortmund after the club rejected the proposed terms. It is common knowledge that United could not agree to put themselves in a situation where the agent could effectively manage the sell-on rather than the club. However, as reported by ESPN, Erling Haaland reportedly rejected the opportunity to join Manchester United. According to the reports, he believed that the Red Devils could not live up to his expectations while playing for them. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the former manager of United, and Haaland have a relationship dating back to their time at Molde. That is why Haaland was extensively connected with the Red Devils in January. The Norwegian international hailed his old employer and acknowledged that he was crucial to his professional achievement. He told the Norwegian TV station Viasport that Ole has been really crucial for him to get to where he is today. But they came to the conclusion that Dortmund was his best option. Haaland has been in outstanding form this year, bringing his impressive goal-scoring prowess to Man City. In Dortmund, the striker made 5 appearances and scored an astonishing 8 goals in his first 5 matches. Simply put, he is one of the finest in the world at what he does. He encounters a lot of criticism, and that's probably because he serves his employers so well. He is a terrific individual to have around and has greatly assisted Dortmund and Man City. To offset the threat posed by Man City's Haaland and make a serious Premier League title campaign, the club is reportedly trying to recruit a world-class striker, according to a report on express.co.uk. Haaland is arguably the most talented young football player in the world. The 21-year-old forward has scored 117 goals in just 161 games, which is an impressive accomplishment for a player with such young talent. He has scored more goals than games played in the Champions League, and he has scored an incredible 47 goals in 48 Bundesliga games. Given these statistics, it is clear that Haaland is one of the best players on the field. It should come as no surprise then that every major European club was trying to get their hands on Haaland's signature before the summer of 2020 and 2021. However, considering all the available choices, and even if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is of Norwegian descent, Haaland will never choose Manchester United. Erling Haaland is excellent because he was born into football, which is one reason Haaland will never pick Man United. His father, Alfie Haaland, also did his trades in the Premier League, playing for several different teams at the highest level, most notably Leeds United and Manchester City. In addition, Alfie Haaland played for several teams in the Football League Championship. However, in September of 1997, while playing for Leeds during a game against Manchester United, Alfie Haaland had one of the worst games ever. Roy Keane was chasing after the ball with Haaland when he suffered an injury to the anterior cruciate ligament in his knee. Haaland stood over him and yelled at Keane because he suspected that the United man was exaggerating the severity of his injury to obtain a penalty for it. The altercation was so intense that the referee had no choice but to issue a yellow card as the medical staff carried him out on a stretcher. Roy Keane was out for close to a year due to the injuries he sustained. Alfie moved from Leeds to Manchester City in the year 2000. At the time, Roy Keane was still playing for United, and he hadn't forgotten how Haaland attacked him while he was wounded 4 years prior during a match that was still in progress. Roy Keane came to Haaland with a hard kick to the right knee, but Roy Keane was immediately sent out of the game. He was also disqualified from the next 3 matches to rub salt in the wound and fined £5,000 for his unsportsmanlike conduct. A year later, Roy Keane wrote his autobiography, stating that he had planned out his acts in advance. because of the critical words that Haaland had directed towards him 3.5 years earlier, he purposefully harmed Haaland, placing his career in jeopardy as a result. After learning this information, the league acted and Roy Keane was given an additional 5-game suspension and an additional £150,000 fine. But the harm that was done to Haaland was still significantly worse. At the time, Haaland was already experiencing issues with his left knee, which had gotten to the point that he was required to play with the strap around it following that game. After that, he participated in a friendly match for Norway, but he was forced to leave the field at half-time. In the following league match, he was also forced to leave the field at the 68th minute due to knee problems that had gotten so severe that he was forced to have surgery on both of them to determine whether or not he would ever go back on the field. Unfortunately, Alfie could only make substitute appearances in the Premier League throughout the following season, and he did not start a football match in the Premier League again after July 2003. At the age of 33, he was forced to retire. Despite the fact that it was officially his left knee that had the long-term damage, he retired young for a defensive player. Many experts think that the injury he sustained to his right knee may have forced him to put additional strain on his left knee, which in turn caused him additional discomfort. This is why the Haaland family hates Man United. Erling Haaland said that he despises Manchester United and he can't watch any of their players play. You can tell that Haaland's disdain for the Red Devils stems from his deep-seated hatred for Roy Keane for making his father give up on his career at such a young age. Young Erling Haaland grew up idolising his father. That's why, even if Man United has a Norwegian manager as coach, and United has tried before after moving from his home country, it is not surprising that he will never want to join the club that his father despises. As 2020 approached, Haaland was still playing for RB Salzburg in Austria. Haaland was seeking a new club at the time, and that's when they came knocking. On the other hand, the young Norwegian player ignored all other offers and decided to sign with Borussia Dortmund. There aren't a lot of individuals that pass up the opportunity to work as a doorman at United unless they have some grudge against the club, as the Haaland family does. Manchester United may still have one of the largest fan bases of any club in the world, but the truth is that they have not been at their best since Alex Ferguson stepped down as manager. This coincides with the arrival of Cristiano Ronaldo, whose new preferred position is centre forward, which has also hindered Manchester United's performance. It would be preferable for Haaland to join a club on the opposite side of Manchester, where he would not have to compete for attention with any other players. Tottenham, Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain were all trying to have Haaland on their side. Erling Haaland, the young and skilled centre striker, has so many opportunities available to him. He may be hoisting the Champions League trophy in a few years, but what are your thoughts, guys? Let us know in the comments. Did you know that Erling Haaland could play for the English national team but doesn't want to? Check out the video in the top right corner to learn more about why he isn't. Subscribe for more weekly football content.